Hey guys, Coffee Boost here. So, I wanna discuss about a subject with the community, and it's about people copying builds from streamers and not adapting it to what they have, or when they play with friends and they give them like a build and some gear. I wanna talk about it too. So, unless your friend is asking about it specifically, don't give them the best gear for the build. Like, just give them basic gear to turn a build like online functioning and let them upgrade that build. That way they will know what is missing for their playstyle and adapt and correct it. Because what I see most of the time is people is trying to copy paste the build, which is fine. I mean, you could definitely like look at my skills over there and make a exact copy paste of my skills. And I mean, it's a starting point, but it doesn't mean that you should play this exact skill. And how you know that? You know that by trying the stuff and seeing what works for you and what works not for you. For example, I've seen many people talk about like copying Moxie Infinity Crit build and finding it underwhelming. Well, maybe they just didn't have understood skill management. I mean, action skill management, or they just don't know which gun to use at which moment, or they think they have the build, but because they are missing a key piece, it's like looking underwhelming. For example, if they don't have a hemp shield, because Moxie's been using a hemp shield, maybe they will think it's like, meh, it's not looking as good as what that guy was doing when he was playing a specific build. Well, maybe that's a key piece you're missing, but just letting you know, sometimes just a hemp 50 is correct. But the thing is, Infinity Crit is a good build, and it's definitely fine starting with what Moxie start and share, and then depending on what gear you have, when you test it, you adjust your skills. For example, Moxie, I think, is definitely like using neutron decay, which I'm not. Because I found out that I didn't want to go to meltdown to try to proc radiation damage, and I'm not shooting that much with a radiation weapon. And I don't want to be locked into radiation weapon. That's a choice I made. And also I selected I wanted this and the blue tree skill. I would like to go to ripple effect because that skill is amazing, and this is one I use when I run field scientist. But what happens is figure out that I really wanted to have Infinity Grid online, so I need to have crit funding. And I use 3 points out of 5. And with all the instances of bonus damage I have, it's proccing quite often. So that's good. I can use a bod if I want. But what I really like to use is dot weapons. I really like dot weapons. I'm not using Half-Life. Moxie Half-Life is going into the red tree and is like using fuzzy mat and elementary stuff and putting like points over there. I really wanted to have the convenience of Infinity Crit, but I tweaked it a little. I don't want to be like locked to field study as well. Not field study, like a scientist. I mean, field scientist class mod, because it locks you into shock, which is a very strong class mod. It's probably like my favorite Harlowe class mod, but I figured out that when I was doing a Bloom Reaper at true mode using UVHM6, I could not plot the timer in true mode. And that was because I was locked on field scientist and shock damage. And as soon as I figured out I need to unlock myself from that, I was able to plot true mode using the Sweet Embrace. And you know, sometimes it takes adjusting. So I was using a chemist class mod instead. So it takes adaptation. You need to try stuff and see what you like, what you're not liking. Don't just copy paste stuff blindly and expect it to work all the time. You gotta learn the thing. Sometimes I would even say purposely start it with like underperforming gear so that you can evolve it, upgrade it. Because if you take like godlike gear from the start, maybe you will get the hang of it fast, but you're not gonna be able to like evolve it and appropriate this build for yourself, and you will lose the enjoyment of upgrading the thing. So it's fine to start with underwhelming gear. You don't have a amp 100 or a shield, you find a amp 50, it's a green shield, doesn't matter, pick it and use it and see if it makes things better, and see if tweaking a skill makes it better. For example, you want to put some more distribution to have a better amp on your shield, fine, adjust it, do it. Like, it's not like a perfect formula that you have to have exactly the same skills to like be impressive. You gotta adapt to what you like, and keep in mind that when they make like tier list weapons as well, it's subjective to what they like. Of course, most of the thing in S tier and A tier are indeed strong weapons, but maybe a weapon which is in a B tier in their list is S tier for your style and for what you like, and you gotta explore. That's what I want to say, and you gotta like evolve stuff. So right now I'm on something I called like hybrid Harlowe. It's like combining a bit of Infinity Crit and a bit of Half-Life, because Half-Life is something I really like, but I also like the convenience of just changing a little bit of gear and like leaving the dot build without like changing the skill tree every time. And I just like this mixed. And I didn't want to go on Biorobot because I don't really appreciate that Biorobot is locked with like hazard damage and alternating with cryo hazards when you entangle enemies, because I find out that the hazards is not scaling well, and it's holding back the Biorobot. But you know, it's a very strong class mod, don't get mistaken. I've played with it and I can like pump like group study to like 10 stack with it, and when the boss show up, it's just like melt instantly. That's not the thing. I just wanted to be able to leverage better perks, which is why at the moment I'm testing a 7th class mod, which is having a similar effect to the thing you can find in the Biorobot, but it's only like 2 level of this, but the perks are good for what I had in mind, and I can find another 7th that I could swap to if I wanted, per se, like use my kinetic bud. In fact, I already found one with 4 level of control group, and it has like 40% kinetic damage, and I think it has some gun damage as well. So yeah, so if I want to use my bud or a Cowson or anything which is kinetic like a Borstel Ballista, it's gonna be super nice with this build, you know. So I just need to swap a bit of my gear and it's done. Anyway, that's the thing. So my selection of skills, I decided to go with one shot of latent charge and 1 shot of creative overflow, and it's because it adds 2 instances of bonus damage to like proc this skill more often. So that's a choice I made. I went for this because entangling enemies is super important for conformative reality. It's another choice I made. I went for that because it's a sacrifice I do with Neutron Decay just to spread my status effect because I love them. I went with 1 Gamma Ray Burst, even if it's like detrimental sometimes to my dot build, just because sometimes I want to like add radiation damage on a whim to break a shield or to bypass element eater, which would be, for example, eating my incendiary damage. It's quality of life. I decided to have just not to swap weapon mid-fight. I just like trigger my thing and I kill the thing. So anyway, that's what I wanted to ramble about. So yeah, that sucks. I didn't turn the panel on. Let's do it. Anyway, should stop quite okay. But you see, I'm playing it like Half-Life at the moment. And my grenade I'm mostly using to entangle enemies. That's the main usage I have from it. So right now I'm not like ramping up my stacks because my class mod is not that great at the moment. I really need those 4 level inside it. But as you can see, it's still allowing me to shred shields, as you've seen right there. And I can still like melt this boss. So it's all about skill management. And that's not even under field scientist, and it's what it was this good. So there's that. So I know how to manage my stuff, and I'm eager to upgrade my class mod to have at least 4 level of control group, and I would be happy if I could also have like 3 levels of momentum, because that's a great skill to have. Anyway, I just wanted to show that. So it's a good build, but it's not the same as Moxie. And if I wanted to like do that and use a Dark Beast, I definitely can do it. So where is my Dark Beast? It's right over there. So if I want to do that, I completely can. Oh, I forgot it's I mean, obviously it's not like the strongest weapon in the game. I can play it a little bit like Bio-Robot. And it's gonna start to shred. And look at my ammo amount. It's still like staying good. Don't worry about fight for your life. It's part of the game. Ah, that's gonna be a problem. Not a good moment to go and fight for your life. I need this guy. So yeah, it's Infinity Crit, guys. I know it's not as impressive as when I went with the Sweet Embrace, or if I would have like picked my Bud per se. But at the moment, I have an issue. I forgot to. I know I have my Bud. I forgot to bring my enhancement, which is Talk. I could have, and it's gonna work. This ceramic Bud is going to cook pretty well, and I already know that when I'm going to like upgrade this class mod to have control group at least at level 4, it's gonna be an amazing class mod, which is gonna replace Biorobot, and hopefully it's gonna have 3 nice perks. And at the moment, I think that Biorobot is wasting 2 perks, but this is the kind of thing which is fun to experiment and look for when you are like not copy pasting builds, and that's exactly what I wanted to discuss. So it's fun to upgrade the gear. So I'm eager to find something better than this 7th class mod and put it on my build and just be happy. And if you're curious to see what I was using, it's like this rep kit. I have this what for dinner, which is great. I also could have used my Guardian Angel, which I love very much. I could have used this Siphon what's for dinner, which is also amazing. I know I have good gear, but I didn't always have these good pieces. I like looted these things, and I was like happy, and I upgrade my stuff and I move on and I tweak my skills every time. I'm not like just copy pasting everything, but it's a good thing to start from a good shell and adapt it to your playstyle. So have fun, guys. Bye.